So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, class. So, today I will be speaking briefly on what nationalism is a question that a lot of persons have been asking me to talk about. So, today I just want to speak briefly on nationalism. When we say nationalism, nationalism is the art of being patriotic, dedicated, and loyal to one's country. That's nationalism. One is be dedicated, loyal, patriotic, what we know as patriotism, to one's country. That's the essence of our nationalism. That's the characteristic of our nationalism. Must be patriotic, must love your country, must be loyal to your country, must be dedicated to your country, must put your country first, is what we refer as world nationalism. Another question that people ask is that what are really the factors that led to the rise and growth of world nationalism? I will tell you, but the vision of nationalism, the idea of nationalism is to eradicate imperialism, is to eradicate colonialism, oppression. That's just the idea, that's the vision of world nationalism. So what are the factors that led to the rise and growth of nationalism in Nigeria? I'm speaking specifically in Nigeria. Look at it. We have two major factors, internal factors and external factors. When we say internal factors, the things that happen within the country. When we say the external factors, we are talking about the things that happen outside the country, in diaspora. When we say diaspora, we're talking about things outside Nigeria and Africa. Okay, that's the external factors. Now, let me speak briefly on internal and on external factors. When we say internal factors, what are the things that really happen internally that facilitate the rise and growth of nationalism in Nigeria? One of them is the activities of all the educated elites. When we say the activities of the educated elites, we mean those of elites who has British education, who has the Western education. Their policies, because of the education they have, they were able to kick against the policies of the British that is unsuitable to them. Okay? Another thing that happened again within the country, formation of political party. The first political party that was formed by Herbert Macaulay in 1923, NNDP, Nigerian National Democratic Party. These are the internal factors that led to the rise and growth of world nationalism in Nigeria. The another thing about nationalism is ability, is the movement of world independence. Yes, through nationalism, we gain independence. Through nationalism, through the vision, through the idea of nationalism, it facilitated the movement of world independence in 1960. Okay, through this process of formation of political parties, NC Action Group, and among others. Okay, there are many more that happen internally. Another internal factors that also facilitate the rise and growth of nationalism in Nigeria that led to independence, we will say the influence of Christianity and the establishment of school, yes, by the British, and discriminating attitude of the Europeans towards Nigerians. These are things, economic exploitation, these are things that happen within the country that facilitated the rise and growth of nationalism in Nigeria that led to independence of 1960. Okay, now let's go to the external factor, the things that happen outside Nigeria. One of them is Pan-African World Movement, in likes of Marcus Garvey, Du Bois, all these men in in Europe, they are all black Americans. They form association. When we say Pan-African movement, it means association that was formed by blacks to fight against emancipation, to fight against the policy of the British, and to have freedom. Okay, the form association is what we refer as Pan-African War Movement. Association, the unity that was formed by what Africans, the black Americans, okay, to kick against what the policy of what the British. All right. Now we also talk about what independence of what India. Yes, when India gained their independence, I think there about 1945. You see that this also facilitated what the rise and growth of nationalism in Nigeria. Yes, because all African countries want to be free as well. Okay. Now let's talk about the effect of the Second World War and the First World War, 1940 to 1918, and 1935 to 1945. Thereabout. We also talk about the Atlantic Charter. When we say charter, we talk about agreement between the Prime Minister of Britain and the President of the United States of America. William Churchill is the Prime Minister for Britain, while Franklin Roosevelt was the President of the United States of America. They signed a charter that all the rest of the world to gain was self-government, excluding Africa. This also gave momentum to the rise and growth of nationalism that led to many independence in African countries. You see me, my next video, I will expatiate more on these internal and external factors. Thank you for listening to me.